Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is back on toy store shelves for another Christmas, and there's a perfect range of gifts out there that I'd say can make kids and big kids alike quite happy. The new range of MMPR Reignition products not only covers the basics but also reworks the original concepts for a number of items, and in some cases even improves on what the originals brought to the table. So whatever your take on Mighty Morphin is, you have to admit it's still pleasing to see the show still represented with new merch and shops in our hometowns armed with so many familiar products. After rolling out throughout mid-2025, these new items are out pretty much internationally now. As for us here in the UK, you can get them in all good toy shops such as Smith's Toy Superstore. I've got a long-running history with Smith's from when I used to visit Ireland as a kid. It's where I got my original Game Boy and Super Mario game from. It's where I got my Nano Baby, which was sort of a Tamagotchi adjacent thing. And it's where I got my Power Rangers in Space Deluxe Astro Megazord. So it's awesome having seen Smith's go from strength to strength and pick up a lot of what was lost following the end of Toys R Us's original big box stores. Seeing stacks of Mighty Morphin in there in this day and age is wild. So I sent a wish list to an agency representing character options who distribute the toys in the UK and was gifted some back to show you guys, which is pretty awesome. I've got 3 things to talk about, and I'm going to start with the one that caught my eye the most, the Tyrannosaurus Battle Bike. The Dino Battle Bikes were a curious concept because they were shown in the opening credits of Zyuranger, the Sentai that Power Rangers was based on in Japan, and appeared briefly in 1 or 2 of their episodes. But their only appearance in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were a few blink and you'll miss them in the background shots during episode 31, Calamity Kimberly. Not referenced or ridden. Those of you old enough to remember though will know that we did get all 3 of them in action figure scale back in the 90s as a carryover from Bandai Japan's own toy line. As such, they were built for the 4-inch figures moulded by Bandai Japan. The red bike did include a attachment missile launcher, which wasn't actually accurate to the show, but did look kind of cool. Normally, I'd dismiss something like this because it's in that curiously niche category of items that were designed in keeping with the iconography and theming of the series, but for whatever reason, America, in this case Saban, didn't do anything with it. It makes a change to later seasons where they would literally engineer toy sales by inserting things into the show that didn't come from Sentai in the first place. Anyway, these bikes were very cool. They're probably my favourite designs of the 3 sets of bike toys Mighty Morphin had. Only the last set would make it onto the TV show, The Shark Cycles, but yeah, this is obviously designed to evoke the Tyrannosaurus, Jason's Red Ranger Dino power. The new Playmates version has made the bike ever so slightly larger than the 90s one, and I'm happy to report it's nicely painted and detailed, as is the included Red Ranger figure. You didn't get a figure with the 90s version. They wouldn't start including figures until the Thunderbikes in Season 2, so it's awesome that this one purchase gets you exactly what you need, as it should have done back then in the 90s. The figure is a really satisfying sculpt, good paintwork, and especially great articulation. Really makes me want more of these. You don't get any traditional Red Ranger accessories or holster, so don't expect that. You do get this harness thing, which dances the line between the set being canonical to what Japan made and being inspired by the series. You can play without it, but it is worth using if you want to flip the Ranger fully and land on his feet, which is the main action feature of the set. Otherwise, he will usually still somersault, but without as graceful a landing, though it would be the ultimate trick shot if you were to make it. And there's something so fun about this flipping motion and landing in front of his own bike. Power Rangers toys often are very satisfying when they involve some form of spring gimmick, like the Automorphins, or various self-transforming Zords, or even the spring gimmick in Morphers. And here we finally bring that capability to one of the vehicles. This looks good on its own, but if you buy some of the souls separately, evil space alien villains like Rita, Goldar, or the Putty Patrollers, you can imagine up some battle chaos. It's important to rotate the figure back around when getting him into seated position. You shouldn't put his hands on the handlebars though, you could rest them in that general direction. It's a simple but surprisingly complicated action feature. The metal bar that enables it all to happen is well chosen and stands out on a set that is otherwise made of plastic. I do wonder if you could detach that bar by screwing into the headpiece of the bike to up the accuracy, but to be fair, it's hidden if you display the bike this way around, which is how all the promo pictures from ZYZaDraws show it anyway. If you're looking for a casual purchase for a vehicle and action feature loving player, this definitely has my recommend. At time of writing, it's available at places like Amazon, The Entertainer and Argos. Next up, we've got the Power Morpher and the Power Coins. The Morpher is the iconic piece of lore of the franchise, and it's been realised in its cheapest and lightest ever form this time. The idea of going into Smith's and picking up a Morpher for $19.99 had become a bit of a pipe dream for years, as a lot of them had started to creep up towards the £40 mark. As it is, it's the most affordable version ever. So they're really looking to bring the price down on this to something more attainable and attractive to buyers, but in doing so, know that this version is not principally for older fans. The coins, for example, feel really small from what I'm used to, but I will say they are, size-wise, modelled much more on actual coins rather than the medallions like we've been used to. Having said that, it's not accurate to be this small, though kids likely won't care. Also note the current in-store version of this has made the coins gold a lot brighter. The detail on the coin's dino symbols is good. Functionally, this is only our second Power Rangers Dino Morpher that recognises different coins after what Hasbro did with their Lightning Collection version a few years ago. You get all 5 main team coins, and they've obviously planned ahead, because if you hold down the first peg, you get some very cool teasers for Green Ranger's Dragonzord power. And of course, that coin actually gets included with the separate Dragon Dagger release, so you don't even have to wait to use it properly. And actually, if you cover the 2 tabs on the left, you can even unlock the Tigerzord sounds.
It's Morphin time! Tigerzord!
I know some kids and adults will get a real kick out of discovering this little Easter egg. I love that even if you lose all the coins, which I imagine can happen sometimes, you can still just use the button to get a random selection of sound effects rather than locking you out of everything. The actor voice-alike dialogue is fine. I would have preferred them to have done what Hasbro did with real TV show voice clips, but I imagine needing to translate it into other languages for other territories made them go this route instead.
I'm here and ready. Tyrannosaurus power! Triceratops! Trini here! Let's do it! We need dinosaur power! Now! Saber-tooth tiger!
It's also a bit of a shame that Jason always announces that it's Morphin time regardless of the coin you put in, but so it goes. And does it remind anyone of a cassette player, especially with the new buttons on top? Accuracy does take a massive hit with no button on the side, and your new belt clip, which is cool, does actually get in the way of having a space to put your hands if they're on the larger side, though apparently the Determined can get back there and remove the screws holding it on to get that space back. In terms of comparison to the Bandai's 90s original, which is what Playmates toys seem to be most closely modelled after, it doesn't look as accurate, but the sounds offer a lot more than the original, which just bleeped. So overall, not a bad one, and a great entry point for any new Power Rangers fan. And while we're on sound upgrades, finally, the Blade Blaster. So these were actually bundled together with the Morpher in the 90s, whereas every subsequent release has boxed them separately, which I think makes sense given the rising importance of the Morpher in the franchise. The Blade Blaster, like the Morpher, appears in every episode of Mighty Morphin by virtue of being part of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers suits. The design is pretty iconic, and the split transformation function hasn't actually been improved on since this original. Pulling back the spoiler now automatically deploys the blade, which has got to be one of the most satisfying action feature motions in Power Ranger toys ever. Some sounds are ported over from the Morpher, some are unique to this. The big thing I think that breaks the illusion is that the Blade Blaster doesn't seem to know whether it's a blade or a blaster. So you pull the trigger, sometimes the effect that's relayed is the one for the opposite mode. It's a random sequence, so you can't even predict when it's coming, and I feel like it's a missed opportunity because there's custom blade and blaster sounds when you pull or push the spoiler in or out, so they can do it. They even have a tiny clip of the theme tune in there. It reminds me of a Red Ranger watch I had as a kid that did the same thing. The blade should really be silver with red painted sections, but they've actually gone with the same red plastic that's on the barrel. It's fine. Because of the clever ingenuity of the Blade Blaster design, once you're in blade mode, it won't budge again until the handle is down. You can't press it back in. The teeth on the handle and the spoiler bite together and form a very solid feeling latch. It's a quintessential 90s design. It does seem strange that unlike the Morpher, there's no off switch on this one, but it is fun, and again, a high recommend from me. Hey, they got the colours on the barrel and the Power Ranger stickers way more accurate than the original. It's maybe 10% smaller than it should be. An adult hand will catch on the teeth on the handle and in the blaster mode, but it's a nice size overall, not too big, not too small, a good weight, and could make for a decent display item. The Dragon Dagger is iconic and brilliant in its own way, but for someone new to Power Rangers, I think the Blade Blaster has better play value by virtue of being two toys in one. So there you go, Power Rangers are back on the shelves as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reignition. Are you guys hoping to get any, and what would you recommend people pick up? Do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.